Transitioned. Okay, here we go.
Excellent transition.
Right, okay.
Take a deep breath.
All right.
And transition.
So Jacob Bullard, Bungie and Activision have parted ways. It's a topic that's been in the gaming industry it's made headlines, I would say. It's a big one because of Bungie and their pedigree and Activision and their just gigantic company that just pumps out money and games that produce all that cash flow. The article that you guys can go read, but it talks about some interesting points that I think we can address. Do you want to just do pros and cons, or do you want to go through like the list of like those points?
We could just go through the list and just talk about them briefly.
Okay. Well, I'm going to combine 1 and...
do it however you want. It's fine.
I'm going to combine 1 and 6 on this because they're like the same thing.
Okay.
6 is, will Bungie find a new partner and then publishing the game? It's kind of like the same thing. So they're going to find a new publisher. I've heard a good example of the dudes from Square Enix that left Square Enix, the Hitman team. I forgot what they're called. And now they're, publishing, I think, on Warner Brothers, but they're still their own own studio.
Okay.
So they can go down that route, or do you think they're gonna go? I still don't think they're gonna go to Microsoft at all. That's like your pipe dream.
Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily like, I feel that it's certainly possible that Bungie, I mean, at the time that Bungie left, Bungie felt that I think they wanted to take control of their own destiny. I don't know that going back in, although I mean, I would imagine there would be a pretty significant payday for them if they were to do so. And I think that especially with the way that the Halo license has been handled in their absence, much to the disappointment of a lot of like hardcore Halo fans, after 3 wasn't the last one. Reach was their last game, right? Yeah. So like 4, 5, and the one that they announced at E3 last year. I'm blanking on what they're calling it. I think that there is a void that Halo is not filling the void that it once filled. If that makes sense.
I think the point you're getting to is like them going back to making Halo games.
I like that is like one aspect of the pipe dream where like they go back to Microsoft. I'm not saying like this is what's going to happen. Like this is what would be awesome if it did happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think that like them going back to making Halo games would be great. I think what's more realistic is that they try their hand again at something new, maybe with a new publisher like you were describing there. I think that Destiny, because like their agreement with Activision was supposed to be for like a 10-year thing, and like Destiny was supposed to be I don't even think their original plan was to have a Destiny 2. It was just gonna like it was gonna build.
No, it was 4 games.
I thought that
it was 4 games and then 4 DLC.
Okay, I feel like I remember early on that it was gonna be like that Destiny was gonna be this persistent thing that like went for years and years and years. Because I remember there being like a huge surprise when they announced Destiny 2.
There were supposed to be 4 like connected titles, I guess, or whatever.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
4 DLC plans.
In any case, I don't know that. I mean, I guess they'll have to find someone to publish their games unless they're going to do that on their own now. But
I can see like an Ubisoft or an EA or Warner Brothers Studios coming in.
Please, not EA.
No. I meant like to have like a partnership to where they just help publish the game with like the marketing.
I don't even care. Like get EA out.
No, I'm not talking about their partnership with Activision, like how like that they've had.
I understand.
I'm just saying as them just like in the title, like what's it called? What's the game I'm thinking of right now? I'm like blanking on. Is it not Bethesda? Is it Obsidian that like put out with Ubisoft on the Stick of Truth, like that kind of relationship where they're just the publisher. They're not like they're not meeting any kind of like quota or anything like that for them. They're just helping them out like with that aspect of it because they technically at the moment there's no one there that's not an Activision employee that probably knows how to publish a game at that scale. You know what I mean? Like Bungie just makes games. That's like what they're good at. You know, they haven't done anything on their own since like their first 7 years, I think, and then the next 7 years was with them with Microsoft, and then obviously the departure from Microsoft. So they don't, unless they already are able to make that transition. Who knows? I would rather have them, like you said, make the new IP, like you said, but also continue the Destiny for those Destiny people, because those Destiny fans love that game so much, and I wouldn't want to have them take it away just because they're making a new game. I would say, do like a split team again, or go
yeah, that's what I would say.
A split team where you have, 1 year you're focusing on Destiny, and then the next year you're focusing on the next title.
I don't even think it needs to be like 1 year, then 1 year. I think
no. I'm not like every year. I'm
like put a small team on Destiny to like at best or at worst, I suppose, like just round out Destiny 2 and like finish what they had planned there.
Well, I think
then move on to a new IP.
Oh no, I'm talking about like finishing out the 4 games that they were gonna do.
Ooh, okay.
But like have the team, but like this, they can take their time now with the game. They don't have to rush it out. So you work on your new IP, and then you put that out, and then you go back to like, how Rockstar does it with like Red Dead Redemption. Like they've been working on Red Dead Redemption since like Grand Theft Auto. So it's like,
yeah.
Or actually since like the last almost like Red Dead Redemption, basically.
Probably, yeah.
So like you still have like the writing team on there, but you also have like the bulk of the other team working on the other projects. So they can do that kind of switch. They just, maybe they need the publisher. I don't know how that's going to work, but I wouldn't want to take the Destiny away from those diehard Destiny fans. There's plenty of that only play Destiny. I don't get it, but I wouldn't want to take that away from them. But also making a new IP. They can also have like the same partnership that Microsoft had with the Minecraft deal that they did, where they just publish the game, but they have it on all platforms still. Mm-hmm. But they also like this one. Another point was like,
Minecraft is owned by Xbox.
Will the Sony partnership continue? So like, if that happens, like, how does that work? You know what I mean? Because I think they get the DLC first on the Sony platform, I believe.
There's exclusive DLC on the Sony
platform. Exclusive. So like, is that like, if that is going to happen, where like, say they go back to Microsoft, but they do the Minecraft kind of route where Microsoft allows them to do everything they want, or release on everything they want, and then
I don't know. I think it's possible that happens. I think that the Minecraft thing is that like the audience for Minecraft skews so young, and like I guess maybe I don't have an awareness of how much money Minecraft generates Microsoft, but I feel like it's not like deep into the microtransaction things that that something like a Fortnite would be, for example, or something like that, where I don't think that Microsoft cares that it's available on PlayStation and Nintendo and PC and all that, if that makes sense.
Well, another thing too is like their actual like servers and everything, all that jazz is all on like the Battle.net and Activision kind of network. So it's like, how are they going to transition out of that? So like they might need to go to a bigger publisher to help them out with that transition.
That's what I was looking up right now is I couldn't remember who publishes Fortnite. Someone who's going to be rolling in money right now because of Fortnite is Epic Games. Yeah.
And like not that they have like a familiar relationship with Epic, but Epic with Gears and whatnot. So they kind of there's some kind of bridge there. You know what I mean? Where they were exclusives, they were making exclusive games on the Xbox, but like that's the thing they can do.
Yeah.
We've kind of already talked about, will there be a Destiny 3? I think maybe.
I think no. No. After 2, like they're gonna round out the DLC they had planned for 2, and it's gonna be done.
Okay. I don't know. I think they probably have already had the ideas of working on 3 and 4 already. I think they probably have already planned it, so they might follow through and then also work on the other IP. That's what I'm thinking. I think that's like the best thing they can do, but also like the likelihood of it, where they work on 2 different IP. Another one is, Bungie's changed its release schedule. If that makes any sense.
It depends on that. That I would say depends on how much help, if any, they were getting from Activision.
Yeah.
Like if they're absorbing much more work, then obviously I think their time frame is going to have to spread out a little bit. But if Activision wasn't really helping them too much, and Bungie themselves, like enclosed within Bungie, was performing most of the duties already, then I don't think we'll see too much of a change.
I mean, with the second one too, with Activision as well. The second point was with, I think it was Vicarious Studios, and then Vicarious and High Moon. Could they like another thing they can do is, you know, wherever they go, have them absorb. Maybe they can offer those guys, because they apparently have forged a good relationship. But even though they're owned by Activision, they can also poach some talent from there. Maybe that would be part of their second team as well, because they've shown that they can make DLC with Destiny. So
yeah,
that's another possibility.
I just don't think that outside of them finishing Destiny 2, the reason why I don't think there will be a 3 is because I don't think Bungie and Activision would have split if Destiny as a franchise was doing well enough to warrant a Destiny 3. That's why I think that like Activision would want the paycheck of a successful Destiny franchise if it was actually as successful as we think it is.
I think you kind of have a point there, but I also think Activision's expectations are a lot higher and a lot more profitable than that. I think Destiny has definitely made the money, but they probably didn't get the amount of money they thought they were going to get.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the time, like Bungie was red hot, like, you know, property as a studio when they signed them. Obviously,
did Reach come out before GTA 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I would say like at the time, like Bungie was probably the hottest independent studio.
No, Rockstar was still bigger, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah.
Even before 5?
Oh yeah.
Bigger than Bungie?
Yeah. I think
so you would put 4 as a bigger game than 3 and Reach, Halo 3 and Reach.
We would
it's
have to
close.
Look at
it's close.
I would have to look at the numbers, but I think that the studios, regardless, are like in like the same like atmosphere, if anything, at the time.
Okay,
right
I'll rephrase it. Bungie being the biggest like independent studio that could be acquired or like partnered with. Like Rockstar is like their own thing.
Oh yeah. Well, no, there were 2K, I think. I believe.
Well, 2K publishes,
yeah.
yes.
That's what I meant. Like, so like.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So like
Rockstar has their own
like a 2K
anyway.
as well. So like, there's so many possibilities for them.
I forgot about 2K. 2K has Borderlands and all the Rockstar stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. All the basketball games, or the basketball game.
Yeah, the basketball game.
And WWE, which no one really cares about, but yeah. But yeah, I think that's an interesting one. And then this last one, I don't know if it's not really relevant for us. It's for more or less the Destiny players. How will or maybe for future content? Well, how will content deliver? Or how will content delivery and microtransactions change? Which I don't, unless like they're hurting for money, I could see them trying to put more microtransactions in the games. But it seems like Bungie isn't that sort of studio.
I think what they're getting at more there is like, was the microtransaction system Bungie's or Activision's? I think that's kind of what they're hitting at there. Okay. So like, if Activision was the one that either got like X number of cut of the microtransactions, or like they're the ones that like kind of framed the system to begin with.
Okay.
And so like how that's going to change now that Bungie is out on its own.
Yeah, I don't see that much. Like, I mean, Bungie, I think, is more than capable of doing it on their own. If they're going to do it, I would say Activision was probably the more aggressive on it, just because the money, and like Bungie was probably more resistant about it, just because they didn't want to force it upon their players as much. But like I said, if they're hurting for money, they might continue that way because they'll get 100% of the cut now. But other than that, I only see it as a scenario if like they're hurting for money, like if they can't get a publisher to help them out. But I think they will. I guess I haven't read any like specific details, but I would think actually that like anything that comes out for Destiny 2 would have to still be published by Activision. Like it's their game. For 2, I think everything after 2 is all them.
Because like they left with the rights, but like Destiny 2 itself is still an Activision title.
It depends on the details, like the details.
Right, yeah, that's
maybe there's a date cutoff point where after that, then yes, because they own the rights to Destiny. But does that entail for like the first 2 games, or is that everything after? I would assume Bungie would want to have the rights to 1 and 2. You know what I mean?
And
then also Activision's already made their money on
like
those
their
games.
name's on the box. But like, yeah, I know. But like the reality is that there are still people buying that game. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like, how is that revenue shared? That sort of thing.
Well, we'll see. Well, we would have to see how they grinded out the actual details, which won't come out immediately after this deal or after the split, because that's just the way the industry works. None of those details come out. Like what we're finding about like the Bethesda one lawsuit, like we're not going to find out the exact details on why things are turning out the way they are, just like this, I guess. All right, let us know in the comments down below what you guys think about the Bungie split. Let us know if you think they're going to go to a big publisher or not, and let us know which one is the most likely in the comments down below. All right, you ready?
I'm ready
for some more. What's next?